Everyone is chasing the exact same three cars. You know the list. The E30 M3, the 190e Cosworth, and the Porsche-built 500e. The market has decided these are the ultimate expressions of German engineering from the golden era. And because the market has decided this, you are effectively priced out. You are competing against collectors with deep pockets and climate-controlled garages. But the fixation on these halo models has created a massive blind spot. While everyone is fighting over a $50,000 badge, a nearly identical driving experience is sitting quietly on the used market for under 10 grand. There is a specific V8 powered German sedan that slipped through the cracks of automotive history. Finding one now isn't just a smart financial move. It is a cheat code for owning peak-era engineering. The car in question was built during an era when engineers, not accountants, ran the show in Stuttgart. We are looking at the early 1990s. The Japanese luxury market had just launched the Lexus LS 400, sending a shockwave through Germany. Mercedes needed a response, and they needed it fast. They had the legendary M119 chassis, and they had the massive 32-valve M119 V8 engine. The resulting combination was an absolute engineering triumph that time simply forgot. Today, this oversight represents the single best buying opportunity in the classic German car market. Let's look at the myth of the 500e. Automotive history dictates that the 500e is the ultimate W124. Mercedes contracted Porsche to widen the chassis, assemble the car by hand in Zuffenhausen, and stuff the 5.0-liter M119 V8 under the hood. It is an impressive machine, but it also costs upwards of $60,000 today for a clean example. The 500e casts such a massive shadow that nobody noticed what Mercedes did immediately afterward. They took that exact same engineering philosophy and applied it to the standard production line. The result was the 1992 400e, later renamed the E420 in 1994. This was not a watered-down compromise. Mercedes took the 4.2-liter version of that exact same quad-cam, 32-valve M119 V8 engine and squeezed it into the standard, narrow-body W124 chassis. Fitting this massive block into a bay designed for an inline-six was not a simple bolt-in job. Engineers had to modify the firewall, completely redesign the subframe, and upgrade the suspension components to handle the extra weight. They basically re-engineered the front half of the car just to make the V8 fit. The outcome is an absolute ghost on the road. A 400e or E420 looks exactly like a standard 300e commuter car. There are no flared arches, and there are no aggressive aerodynamic bumpers. There is just a small badge on the trunk that most people completely ignore. Beneath that conservative styling is a naturally aspirated V8 producing 275 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. In the early 90s, those were supercar numbers wrapped in a sensible four-door suit. The power delivery is relentless, turbine smooth, and geared specifically for sustained high-speed cruising on the Autobahn. Driving an M119 powered W124 is a distinct experience. The chassis feels carved from a single solid block of granite. The doors close with the mechanical precision of a bank vault. This was the absolute peak of the Bruno Sacco design era, where build quality was the primary metric of success. Modern cars isolate the driver with digital steering and artificial engine noise. The 400e delivers mechanical feedback instead. The recirculating ball steering is heavy but communicative. The 4-speed automatic transmission, while antiquated by today's standards, shifts with a deliberate, muscular authority. Finding a clean example requires patience, but the financial math heavily favors the buyer. A pristine 500e demands a massive premium for the Porsche connection and the flared fenders. Meanwhile, a well-maintained E420 can easily be found for between $6,000 and $12,000 in the US market. For a fraction of the price, buyers get 90% of the 500e experience. The performance gap in real-world driving is virtually unnoticeable. The value proposition here is undeniable when compared to the inflated prices of modern performance sedans. But buying an older German V8 is never without risk. The barrier to entry might be low, but the maintenance requirements are strict. These cars demand diligent upkeep, and ignoring their specific weak points will quickly bankrupt a new owner. The absolute most critical failure point on any V8 Mercedes from this era is the wiring harness. Between 1992 and 1995, Mercedes utilized a biodegradable insulation on their engine wiring. Over time, engine heat causes this insulation to flake off, leaving bare wires exposed throughout the engine bay. This leads to catastrophic short circuits. It will fry the engine control module and leave the car stranded on a flatbed. If you are looking at a 400e or E420, the wiring harness must have been replaced with the updated Delphi part. If the seller has no receipt for this job, deduct at least $1,000 from the asking price and plan to do it immediately. The electronic throttle actuator, or ETA, suffers from the exact same degrading wire issue. Rebuilding this component is mandatory if it has not been done already. Look for erratic idling or a car that randomly enters limp mode during a test drive to spot this problem. Mechanically, the M119 engine is highly durable, with a few notable exceptions. The upper timing chain guides are made of plastic and become brittle with age and heat cycles. When these break, the chain can jump a tooth, resulting in severe internal engine damage. Replacing these plastic guides is a known preventative maintenance item. It is not an engine-out procedure, but it requires specific tools and technical competence. Verify this has been addressed on any car cresting the 100,000-mile mark. Early 400e models also utilize twin distributor caps and rotors. Moisture can build up inside these caps, causing misfires and rough running. This was resolved on later models, but it remains a common nuisance on the earlier production years. Keep these ignition components fresh, and the engine will run flawlessly. Fuel economy is predictably poor. This is a heavy, over-engineered sedan carrying a massive V8 engine. Buyers should expect around 15 miles per gallon in the city and maybe 20 on the highway. This is the cost of doing business with a classic Autobahn cruiser. The sweet spot for buying is the 1994 and 1995 model years. These were rebadged as the E420 and received a slight visual update, including a modernized hood, clearer turn signals, and painted bumpers. These final years represent the most refined version of the W124 chassis. Parts availability remains surprisingly strong. Mercedes-Benz Classic support is robust, and the aftermarket provides plenty of options for suspension components. Keeping an E420 on the road does not require hunting down rare, unobtainable parts on obscure internet forums. Let's dig deeper into the suspension dynamics. The W124 utilizes a multi-link rear suspension design that was revolutionary at the time of its release. This complex arrangement of 5 independent links per wheel controls camber, toe, and anti-squat geometry with absolute precision. This means the E420 remains perfectly composed over mid-corner bumps. When accelerating hard out of a turn, the rear end squats and grips rather than stepping out unpredictably. It provides a level of confidence that is exceptionally rare for a rear-wheel drive car from the early 90s. Interior materials from this era of Mercedes are known for their durability. The MB-Tex vinyl upholstery often looks brand new after 3 decades of heavy use. Even the optional leather interiors age gracefully if kept properly conditioned. Despite a few maintenance quirks, the overall reliability of the W124 platform is proven. Many of these chassis have documented mileage exceeding 500,000 miles in taxi service across Europe. The addition of the M119 V8 simply turns a reliable workhorse into a highly capable long-distance weapon. The value of stealth cannot be overstated. A flashy vintage car draws crowds at gas stations and invites unwanted challenges at traffic lights. The E420 allows the driver to simply enjoy the machine without the constant performance theater. It is a car built entirely for the person behind the wheel. This level of build quality is financially impossible to replicate today. Automakers are bound by emissions targets, pedestrian safety regulations, and rigid cost-cutting measures. The massive doors, the heavy switchgear, and the overbuilt mechanical components belong to an extinct automotive philosophy. Purchasing an E420 is buying a piece of that philosophy. It is a rejection of disposable, software-driven transportation. It is an investment in a machine that was designed to outlast its original owner. The narrative around classic German cars has become painfully predictable. Everyone is fighting over the same 5 models, driving prices into the stratosphere and turning beautiful driving machines into static garage art. The Mercedes W124 400e and E420 offer an exit strategy from that madness. This car delivers the exact over-engineered V8 powered experience that enthusiasts claim to want, but it hides behind a remarkably boring exterior. That anonymity is exactly what has kept prices grounded in reality. You get Porsche 500e engineering without paying the Porsche tax. The window to buy these cars at the bottom of their depreciation curve is rapidly closing. As parts availability stabilizes and the secret gets out, that $10,000 price tag will disappear. The smart money is moving past the obvious choices and finding value where nobody else is looking. Knowing what to buy is only half the battle. Knowing exactly how to negotiate for a 30-year-old German V8 requires a completely different skill set. If you want to know the exact phrases that drop a seller's asking price by 20%, that is what we are covering next.